Welcome once again to Hunters Entertainment on Twitch.tv. I am Noxweiler Burf, your game master and guide through a dark and challenging world of survival horror. Tonight, as we do every Tuesday evening, we are playing Outbreak Undead. This game is not for the faint of heart, and I, as your game master, have confirmed consent with each of my players. Our lines and veils have been drawn, and we have safety protocols in place to assist and protect everyone at the table tonight. We ask you for your consent as well, and we encourage you to read the content warnings very closely. This game offers us all a lot of opportunities to explore the dark themes of this specific game. We also get to shine a light on the human condition in the safe confines of our imagination, but all of that takes the bravery and support of every person at the table, including you. Not every character tonight is being played with the same objectives and motivations. Some are actually working against each other, against the other players, and are in communication with dark and dangerous forces from the outside. This game can become very intense, but we're excited to explore it, and everyone here is a friend. You see, in this world, there are no magic swords to be discovered, no valiant knights or castle walls to hide behind. The dangers here are far worse than fantasy dragons or magic. They wear a face that is very familiar. It is the face of a world that died a long time ago, but it echoes our very own civilization. Still, in the greatest darkness, hope burns brightest. I would like to thank both JB Jara and Alex Hillman and the entire Hunters team for helping us to make this campaign happen. We certainly couldn't do it without their hard work, and we're very appreciative. Please sign up for our Scry program in the panels below and engage with the communities of the apocalypse directly. You get to take on the role of a survivor yourself. You help to divert resources and goods to where you think they are most needed by using this program, and I would be remiss if I was not very clear. Your choices will mean the difference between life and death. They are linked to the various settlements within the Rag and Bone universe. Your choices have weight. That is a thread that we often find ourselves exploring here at Rag and Bone. Our tireless Undead moderators are in the chat right now, and they're prepared to help you by answering any questions that you may have. They're here to support your efforts, and we are very thankful for everything that they do for Hunters Entertainment. They are our soldiers in the front line. Please show them your appreciation. Additionally, tonight, it seems that a certain generous benefactor has seen fit to ensure that the players have received an additional competency point. Every week we have a goal. That goal is to receive either 15 subscriptions or 100 follows. Now, because of the 15 subs we have received, at the very last moment, each player will have an additional competency point that they can use to potentially save their lives. If you enjoy this content, we just entreat upon you to please continue to make noise on social media. Help us to grow and bring more survivors into the fold. Find our content on YouTube as well. Give it an extra watch there, or share it with your friends that you think might also enjoy this particular brand of Dark Ride. You can join us in our Discord and connect with others who you feel might enjoy the offerings here, and we encourage you to do so. There is a thriving community waiting for you. Enough of all of that, however. Allow me to introduce you to the players in tonight's nightmare. Michelle, would you like to introduce yourself, please, and say hello to everyone and tell them a little bit about what you're doing elsewhere on the internet?
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle and Bradley. You can find me on the internet at I am Chubby Bunny. In lieu of promoting myself, I would say please check out the Asian American Pacific Islander Community Fund if you would like to donate, because that's something that's going on, and I really would have more eyes on the donations that they can give to make a difference in what is happening right now. Not to get too crazy into it. But yeah, check my Twitter. I've been talking about it all week. And hey, what about Juniper? I think I'm in jail still, right? And I like dislocated my arm because I was trying to get out, and I thought I was doing something cool, and it wasn't very cool.
Indeed.
And
Juniper has been put into a very tight situation.
yeah, so team, that's what happens when you give Nox so many risk points that he can just take your character from fighting for their life straight into jail, and that's my own fault. I gave him all those risk points.
To be clear, it cost me 100 risk to have you go dark.
And that's how the game is played.
Well, thank you for being with us, Michelle. I know we haven't had a chance to discuss this very long, but perhaps we can work something out to do a specific fundraiser in one of our weeks upcoming to support that very worthy cause. I'll speak to the rest of the team and we'll work something out. Thank you again for being with us, and please do pay attention to the things that are happening in our real world while we're exploring this catharsis together. There are many things that are happening that deserve our full attention. So thank you. Markia, would you like to say a little bit about who you are, things that you might be doing elsewhere on the internet, and who you're playing tonight?
Yes, I'm Markia McCarty. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Markia McCarty. Here on Twitch is Darth Markia, and Facebook is Markia TV. And yeah, to echo what Michelle said, yeah, go to stopaapihate.org, and there's a lot of resources and everything that you can do there to donate, become more aware, because silence is complicity. So yeah, one of those things. Yeah, okay, so for things for this week, March 26th and 27th, I'm also the marketing director of Hunters Entertainment. So with that, we will be running games, thanks to Alex Hillman, our community guy. Y'all know Alex, he's also 10-4 on this show. So he'll be running that with some of our amazing Action Rangers, which are our GMs. So that'll be Friday and Saturday of this week. We'll also have a really great video presentation of Ragnarok. If you remember, that's Gods of Metal Ragnarok, which is our newest game here at Hunters Entertainment at 2 p.m. PT, March 27th. There will be a conversation with Ivan Van Norman, the creator, and our creative collaborators, which is Gabe Hicks, Lysel Awal, and Chris Bissett. And I got a chance to moderate that panel for it, and I really hope that y'all check it out. There's a live Q&A afterwards. Yeah, so I play Achira. Are we saying our characters, or are we just saying ourselves right now?
No, please tell us about your character as well.
Okay. Achira has been captured, but she went down fighting, that's for sure. She bloodied her captor, who also seems to have a connection to Kusanagi. So wondering if there's anything that might end up happening with that. And right now she is captured in the brig of Citadel, and one of the things that were revealed in the last episode and such was that this is not the first time that she has been here. Achira was part of the Citadel before it was what we know it as. So we shall see if anything comes of that as well.
We're very excited to explore it, and I do have to say, if you get the opportunity, please join us for the WonderCon panel. It's going to be very interesting. We're very honored to be working with these creative collaborators, and having worked with them directly, I can tell you, you're going to want to hear what they're bringing to this project. Melee, would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're doing on the internet and where we can find you, and also the character that you're going to be playing tonight?
Hi, I'm Melee Damage. You can find me on the internet at whatever the social media platform is, /Melee Damage. Got a couple things working on. First of all, catch me here every Tuesday. Also finishing up a music video, and got a couple of other surprise projects coming up that I can't quite talk about yet, that are taking up a lion's share of my time. But let's see. Tonight, playing Rowan, who I believe has made a pretty interesting deal with Kusanagi in the last episode. That Nox was kind enough to play Rowan for me. I was not here. But yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes.
So are we. Luis, would you like to talk a little bit about all the things that you're doing and a little bit about Lampwick?
Sure. Hey, I'm Luis Carrazzo. I'm here every Tuesday, and got a couple commercials running right now. Me in a night costume and a Ruffles thing, and then me in a Honda commercial and short films. A short film doing the circuit. You can follow me on social media where I kind of post that information. It's just my first and last name. That combination, you'll find me, and definitely want to just jump on board and second what's already been said. There's a real world out there that needs our attention, and I'm super down. For the record, like, let's do a fundraiser to like make the world a better place. I'm absolutely all about that. Let's please do that. In contrast to that sentiment, I'm playing Lampwick, who probably wouldn't do that unless the fundraiser was for himself. Lampwick is, well, maybe not. I don't know. I think Lampwick is trying to turn over a new leaf, and he is now in the presence of Juniper and Achira. It's been a long time since we've all been together in the same place, and Kusanagi is there as well. I think right now he's with the shepherds, and he's trying to get people to understand what that's all about, without having them think that there's any kind of Kool-Aid that was drunk at any point. So we'll see how that goes.
We will. A number of weeks has passed, and this campaign, as everyone now knows, is not afraid to fast forward as well as rewind. Last but not least, we are extremely honored to have Alcuin with us one more time, or perhaps more, but we'll see how this plays itself out. Alcuin, why don't you tell us a little bit about all the things that you're doing in the world, and also who exactly you're going to be playing tonight?
I'm Alcuin Gersh. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter as different elves, different _elves. I'm in the chat too, so I'll be hanging out with you all today. I am a developer for a book, an Outbreak Undead supplement that's in progress, and Alex is my editor for that. So we're enjoying that. We're making steady progress on it, particularly on one of the scenarios, which we'd like to play some of it on this channel. So if you're interested in that, let me know on Twitter or at Hunters Entertainment. Tell them that you're interested in hearing more about Danse Macabre, the Black Plague supplement for Outbreak Undead. On my Twitch channel right now, I am playing Final Fantasy XIV, the massive multiplayer game. I am focusing right now on a lot of creative stuff to do with like housing and fashion and those sort of things. And like a lot of the big audience that game can have and the community that can have. In this game, speaking of communities, I am playing Kusanagi, who is someone who the players encountered previously as kind of a free agent, a rag and bone tape trader. And due to some of my actions, which I think were justified, I was separated from the group. And I think there may be some bad blood between me and them. Rowan and I left, and some things happened to them in the interim that I feel pretty bad about. But I'm trying my best to make sure they don't see a lot of the bad side of the folks at the Citadel, which I've had a front row seat to recently. So I'm trying to really focus on de-escalation and a lot of that kind of stuff. We'll see how effective that is, since we're already in a pretty bad situation right now.
Uttering the phrase "Rowan and I left" is like saying the entirety of the World War was nothing more than a barroom fight. You did leave, but there's so much more to that leaving, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out. Thank you again for being with us, everyone. We are very excited to have you here, and as it is getting dark and our road is very long, we should get moving. We'll be right back. The world ended on Monday, May 29th, 1995. The sky fell, and the dead would not die. Civilization quickly collapsed, and the sickness spread like lightning to even the most remote reaches of the world. They called it many things, but it started out simply as another round of the summer flu. It became something much, much worse. H195, commonly called the Legacy or the Reaper's Kiss, was as deadly as it seemed to be, and became even more infectious after those stricken with the disease passed away. At first, it seemed as if no one was immune to the airborne strain, but eventually it appeared that 0.01% of the population had a natural immunity. However, even those lucky souls couldn't withstand a concentrated introduction of the virus, be it through a bite, or a deep scratch, or blood-on-blood contact with one of the infected. You see, the end of days were like wildfire, and throughout the world, people desperately sought security where there was none to be had. Entire cities burnt, but miraculously, some still survived. Our world, the world that we know, was destroyed. Some, however, survived, and for the next 25 years, life struggled forward. The world is now a fractured place, but some seek to make civilization anew. Rag and bone merchants are the stalwart individuals that keep these small, fragile, fledgling civilizations alive. Settlements are brought back from the brink of extinction by the goods and services that they provide. Rag and bone is what they're called, but they take what they find. They salvage. They scavenge. They survive. The Ender's Line uses old railway tracks to connect scattered outposts and settlements across what once was known as the Midwestern United States and beyond. Those state lines are gone now. Everything is wilderness with the exception of very small pockets. And in those places, the Ender's Line and groups like it are a lifeline in a world that still belongs entirely to the dead. Rowan, you are staring up at the nightmare that has been hung before you like some twisted decoration. You've lost track of the days. You're much younger. It's about a year after the fall, perhaps longer. You've been stationed here in Pittsburgh, one of the last remaining bastions, one of the last remaining larger cities. You've heard rumors. The government has fallen. Your unit is doing everything it can. Hanging there before you now are the dead. Members of your unit. You recognize them. Their faces. And the horror to you is not that this has been done to them, but the fact that the individuals that did it, this rowdy mob of citizens that want to overthrow the small amount of control that you and your people have been able to bring to this area. These people are the ones that you've saved, that all of you have saved, and they have taken arms against you and the others. There have been gunfights in the streets. Vehicles have been sabotaged. Radio contact becomes more and more scattered and less reliable. Outside forces have begun to pollute the channels, spreading chaos. It's no longer about looters thinking that at some point the things that they steal or take might be worth something. Most people realize that paper money is a joke. Now it's about food, water, the bare essentials of life. You and your unit have done what you've done. Not all of it has been good, but it's been for the good of everyone. You've lived your life by a code. You served overseas. You watched others die around you. You are one of the first women that has been fully integrated into a unit within the United States, and you are proud of that. You've sustained every jeer, all the sexual harassment, the bullshit that they've served you, and you've overcome it. You've become a leader because you take no shit from anyone. You're a warrior, and at the end of the day, many of the soldiers around you are scared little boys. They've lost everything too. And these outsiders, these people from this civilization that you've tried to shield from the horrors of the Walking Dead, they're calling them Romeros now. It's a joke. They're just sick people who've lost everything. You don't know the science, but you don't believe that they're dead. They look dead. They don't respond like people do, but Romeros, whatever they're called, those nightmares that you're shielding these people against, they see you now as the villain. They see all of you, anyone in a uniform, but what they don't see is beyond the khakis and the camo. You're just like them, only you've got training that could save their lives. And now, valuable people from your unit, people with skills, have been slaughtered and are hanging. And the indecency of the entire thing is that the people who did this did not have the right to do it, and they didn't bother to make sure that they were truly killed, because now their bodies jerk and jolt, hung from these ropes on this fence in this dark, dank street. The rest of your unit is around you. The crowd has been beaten back. They've been rounded up. At least 12 are dead. The others surrendered or were chased away. A number of vehicles are present here. A couple of Humvees, Jeeps, and a large cargo truck. You watch as the ladders are brought out and the dead are dropped. But they're not killed. They're restrained. They're going to be taken back for the science officers. They don't even get that courtesy to be removed from this state of being, drooling on themselves with dead eyes. You served next to these soldiers. Familiar face appears, walking from one of the Humvees. A young man, one that you've just become acquainted with. Strong, smart, a little loose with the language. He's different than the others, a little wild. The Marines didn't quite take his personality from him. His name is Edgar Riggs. Well, look at this. I can't believe they did this shit.
They deserved way better than that.
Fuck yeah. I didn't even like Phillips, but I'll be damned if I wanted to see him hanging from a fence.
You know, Riggs, did you get a good look at any of those sons of bitches that particularly had a hand in rigging them up like that?
Yeah. I mean, some of them were bragging about it when we laid them out. Two of them that we know had the ropes are right over there.
You see, that it doesn't sit right with me bragging about that after all we've done for them.
None of this sits right with me.
I feel like they might need to be reminded who the real enemy is. That without us, they're fucking nothing. They'd be dead in a day. Perhaps they need a little reminder what it is that we protect them from.
I like the way that you lay that out. Karloff, I don't want to get too personal, but you served overseas, yeah?
Yeah.
So did I. You know, a lot of these feather touches, they called it blood for oil. They like to complain real loudly. The liberals, the pansies, didn't know what it was like to serve. Didn't know what we were defending them against. You wouldn't have believed what I saw, but you know, looking at you, Karloff, I believe that I probably wouldn't believe everything that you saw.
Valid.
So yeah, we're family. Somebody's gonna have to start taking things up, you know. The captain's been talking about what happens next. Apparently the chain of command is gone. Commander-in-Chief is... well, we all know what happened.
Yeah, shame about that.
Yeah, well, we're serving the flag. We just gotta find a way to let them know who's in charge. So, tell me what you have in mind.
Oh, well, you know, I was just thinking it'd be a shame if they found themselves rounded up somewhere by a very large fire with a lot of noise.
You want to do this with fire, huh?
I don't see why not.
Yeah. I know the housing complex that they've been moved over to. Now, right now, there's a lot of voices within the upper echelons that are talking about containment, control, viral inspection. Look, I've heard the rumors. Everything's dark. We're flying without command here. The captain is just making shit up. I've seen him on the radio. I've also seen that the damn thing isn't plugged in. You know, he's putting on a show. And we're the dogs and ponies.
Gotcha.
So, we need to tighten our ranks. I want to show them what's what, too. But I also want to know what happens after, because I sure as shit am not going down in this bullshit fucking city. I hate Pittsburgh. Everything about it. Three Rivers my ass. This place is a death trap. We need to find another place.
Any suggestions?
Yeah. There's a lieutenant. He's clued me into a spot, and I've been there. Spent some time over there. You know, with details as it is, people are doing what they need to do. But this installation, I think it's going to be worth something. You know, I was just talking to him on the radio just a few minutes ago. You want to check it out after we take care of our business here?
You know, I didn't want to invite myself, but since you offered, I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Put in for a transfer. They're calling it the Citadel.
I like that. It sounds official.
things are going to be different. And he holds his hand out. He clasps it in a full arm, like, grab, and he looks you straight in the eyes. Let's go show them what we can do.
Got it.
And the two of you start to move into the Humvee. You take it through the streets, and as you do, you hear radio chatter. Edgar looks down at the radio and picks it up. Greyhawk, this is Little Blue Bonnet. We're moving in on a series of suspected insiders. We needed to have a full clearance to contain the outbreak. Seems like they're spreading pretty quick. I don't know that we can do anything for them. We want to go in with lethal force. Can we get clearance on that? Over.
Yeah, we read you loud and clear. Tell you what. Just document it on the map. At this point, it's just another point in that pit that we call Pittsburgh. Do what you gotta do. But when you're done, Briggs, we need you to turn back around and we need you to head back to that installation we had you interfacing with earlier. Turns out that there's a shipment coming in from Atlanta. A couple of cargo containers. We'd really like to have you there on site. We've had a couple of security risks. There are outsiders who continue to try to steal supplies. We're going to need you to make sure that that shipment is perfectly safe.
You got it, Greyhawk. No problem at all. We'll cover it. Over and out.
Sounds like we're good to go then.
A fucking hoorah. Currently, inside of the Citadel, all of you are reunited. Rowan is not yet here, but she is at the Citadel. Kusanagi, you know that she's been notified. You also know that it is very, very tense between her and the other survivors here. Achira is still newly introduced to her cell. The door is still technically open. There are 2 guards. You were standing on the stairwell trying to defuse a small group that was attempting to force their way up the stairs. To remind you all, the Brig of the Citadel is not a typical prison. It is a shipping warehouse with only 2 entrances. The entire thing has been structured from old containers and large steel cages that are suspended off the ground. Warehouse racking has been used to create a subfloor. On the bottom levels, the individuals of low threat are held. The upper level is particularly saved for those who might be a threat. Achira was brought to the upper floor, and on the far end of this warehouse, she was introduced to her cell. Lampwick, Kusanagi, both of you intervened, only to discover that Juniper was present in the cell next to hers, held by a chain and some handcuffs from the ceiling itself. Originally, she was muzzled. It seems that the guards are deeply intimidated by her, and she's being held captive here, now. Seems that she has a very serious head wound and has been struggling against her bonds. Kusanagi, you've tried your hardest to make this as comfortable as possible. However, everything is a powder keg here. One misstep, everything goes wrong. And this foobar won't unfuck itself. Lampwick, you are standing on the other side of that cage. Achira has asked you a very pointed question, only to be interrupted by a man in his late 20s, perhaps early 30s, part of the Citadel, clearly by his garb, all of which is that of a military soldier. But there are tears streaking his face as he approaches Achira's cell and announces that he knows who she is. This is Omar. It means nothing to any of you, but it means something to Achira. He has a pistol. It is currently in its holster at his side, but he's shaking with emotion. What do you do?
I'm going to. Omar's right next to me, right? And I saw this exchange between him and Achira.
Everyone saw it,
Okay.
including Kusanagi, who's technically half a level down on the stairs. But this is all open cages. One of the defining characteristics of this brig, there's nowhere to hide. There is no privacy. If the lights are all on, which they are on the cell, and the generators are running, everything is seen.
I'm gonna put my hand out to Omar, and I'm gonna try to calm him down. Look, it's clear you're worked up. You have a history with Achira, as I do, as well. You, I'm sure, have worked really hard to get to where you are right now at the Citadel, and you don't want to blow it. You don't want to do anything stupid. Don't do anything rash. She's here for a reason. And people that are powerful are on their way here to have a conversation with her.
Old man, I did not ask you.
Oh, I'm offering you from a place of generosity. Don't fuck things up for yourself right now by doing something stupid.
He looks back to you, Achira. For just the briefest of moments, he broke eye contact. You're somewhat thankful that Lampwick intervened because it gave you a moment of rest. The intensity in his eyes takes your breath away, but he returns his gaze to you. You're
You
muted.
don't. Omar. You don't understand everything. I know what it looked like. But I got you out. I just didn't have enough strength to keep taking care of all of you after I got you out. I thought I had at least gotten you far enough away that you wouldn't come back to here. I'm sorry that I wasn't strong enough back then to see it all the way through. I thought it was enough to get all of you out. I'm so sorry. I'm even more sorry that you came back.
Fuck you. They saved us. They hunted us the fuck down. They found us. But it was only me and baby Faith. That was all that was left.
They are not your saviors, Omar. They aren't. Maybe you were too young to remember. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry I couldn't stay, but you were better off not.
You were a fucking adult. We were children. And you abandoned us because you are selfish. The Citadel? This is what a family looks like, Achira. Fuck you. Fuck what you did. And I can't wait to watch Rowan kill your ass. He spits at your feet, turns, and walks away. And if you say one fucking word to Baby Faith, I swear to everything that I hold dear, I'll kill you my fucking self. She's already dead to you. He stomps past you, Kusanagi, and bumps your shoulder.
Look, we gotta get you out of here. Clearly, this is not a safe place. Rowan is on her way. We need to come up with something. Juniper.
Nowhere is a safe place. Nowhere is. So why not here? Why not here again?
Any ideas, anybody?
I should probably talk to Rowan first.
Yeah. Yes.
If she's on her way back, I can make sure that I meet her before she gets in here.
Can you do we have any kind of privacy at all right now that Omar has left? Are there people?
There are guards behind you. Listening to everything that you say, there are two of them. There are people that are now leaving and dispersing now that Omar is leaving. But there is another guard down at the foot of the stairs. There are two by either side of the door. To remind you again, the Citadel, as far as settlements go, is fairly large. You've seen more than perhaps 50 people. Many of them are armed and trained. If you count the people in the cell, there's probably 60 people within this encampment. That, in this day and age, is a miracle.
Are there any other prisoners besides me and Achira?
There are. Juniper, you have an individual in the cell next to you. It's further down, not really within contact of the others. And they were trying to talk to you for a little while, but they've gotten quiet. And they're curled up in the back. It's another wild one, known as High C. Bright orange colored hair, unnaturally fiery. Bright eyes. Looks like perhaps she was once very quick, but she looks like she's badly wounded. She doesn't move a lot. You weren't quite able to respond. You just remember the echoes of her trying to get your attention, calling out, "Hey, hey, hey."
From where I am, was I able to see or hear anything that happened with Achira and Lampwick and Omar, or no?
You heard all of that. Okay. You heard all of that, and in fact, you're probably only about 15 feet away from Achira in this moment.
The cells are not, they're like bars, they're not like, I can see them also.
It's like a cage. It's like a, I mean, as disgusting as what the Citadel has done, this is like an animal kennel. There are cages, and it feels less like a jail cell and more like a place to keep people in a more inhumane state.
So at the previous session, I was able to flip over, almost break my arm, but I did get like 2 screws out of the ceiling of the chain thing. Does it feel looser now? Does it feel like if me or someone else pulled really hard, we can get it out of the ceiling, or is it still like very secure?
No, you have, because you spent your survival points to loosen the housing, and because even before your full recollection took hold again, you're not sure what above board. You don't know what Olive has done already, so Olive might have been working at that as well, trying to shake it loose. But regardless, it is very weak and very loose. You think that with a couple of good pulls, you might be able to break it free. However, you are injured and you've hurt yourself, and it's dangerous to do so without inflicting potential damage upon yourself should you fail.
Okay, well, and is there another locked door in front of me, or is the whole thing one giant prison?
It's a large cell, and in the front there is a door that has been locked, and it has chains and an enormous makeshift padlock on it.
Okay, well, all this other stuff is happening. I start yelling over to the other person laying there. Hey, wake up.
Yeah.
I'm awake now. You wake up too. Come on.
You weren't saying nothing. Being weird.
This is all fucking weird, isn't it?
Why were you going to eat their fingers? You kept saying, I'm going to eat their fingers. Make them bleed.
I mean, were they being mean to me? Seems like that's a natural reaction.
I think they're scared of you.
Great. Perfect. Maybe they won't look me in the eye then. Listen, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I want to go.
I'm like a little fuzzy on what's about to happen here, but I think if that lady called Rowan comes in here, something really bad's gonna happen to me. So listen, I think I can get out of this thing. Do you think you can help me pick that lock? Do you have anything on you?
No, but I think I could get something. Hey, okay. She goes over to the other cell and she starts like whispering over to another thing, and you see a figure who comes out, and he's a very dirty, battered man, older, perhaps in his 50s, and he sort of nods quietly, and he has the ragged jumpsuit that all the prisoners have on. You're wearing one of these as well. It's their old hospital scrubs, effectively, and all of you have been placed into that. However, he pulls out of his sleeve, he pulls a small pin and passes it over to the other.
Do you think you can do this?
I'll try.
Okay, you work on that, I'll work on this. I don't think we have a lot of time. And I'm going to try to break this thing again.
She moves across the cell, and she looks at the others, and she looks at the guards. The guards are paying close attention to Achira and the others. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give her a better chance at being able to be stealthy about what she's doing. However, everybody here who's in the room can go ahead and make a spot listen check. And that will determine whether or not you notice what these other two are doing from the cell next to Achira's. Oh, that's very good. Yeah, you're going to have to roll fairly well. Kusanagi, you've gotten 5 degrees of failure, but perhaps this is the best point in the session for you to do that. You don't notice anything. In fact, I'm going to say, what do you think is fair here? Like, you're so distracted that we have to think of some small detriment to place upon you. What do you think is fair?
I think I'm trying to... Inez is probably trying to make sure that as the people leave, they don't, mess with anybody or any of that sort of stuff. I think I'm probably trying to get her attention, and I'm probably kind of in the mix with a bunch of these people at that point. Okay. I'm certainly not going to overhear anything that's going on further up on the catwalk or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to say that you're not going to make any further spot listen checks for the remainder of this scene, and you're just going to be oblivious to what's happening above you as you continue to work with Inez to try to control the crowd. All right? That doesn't mean that you can't get involved. It just means that you're unaware of what's happening around you on that floor. All right? That's fair. Lampwick, you have 2 degrees of failure. Achira, you have 1 degree of failure. Do either of you wish to do anything to correct that?
It seems fair that I barely missed this too by 2 degrees.
I saw that.
No, it's fair that she would have a degree of failure.
So what she's doing is she moves over and she's quietly doing this to the lock, but she keeps saying, I want water. Give me water. I want water.
I'm going to pull out my canteen, which is what I wanted to do, actually. I was going to go and check on Juniper to see if Juniper needed some water. And if Juniper takes it, after that, I'll probably go to her and give her some water too.
Well, Juniper is not within your reach. She's chained from the center of this cage, and
Right.
this other prisoner, though, is in there with her and is currently at the door. So you can talk with and interact with her, and you can talk to Juniper, but everybody's going to hear anything you say.
Okay. So they're near each other.
Yeah.
I'm going to look around and I'm going to say, hey, look, is this how you treat your prisoners? Or is anybody here going to give this person water or not?
One of the guards looks at you, picks up the radio. Yeah, we've got them here. What do you want us to do? Let the Viper know.
I don't like the sound of that. Achira, how are you doing? You need some water. We need to get this thing going. I need you guys. Shit's about to hit the fan.
How could he call this place family? This place isn't family. You're only as good as what you bring in and who you kill for them, and that's it.
Sounds like a terrible place for us to be in right now. I'm gonna take the canteen and I'm gonna go and hand it over to this girl. Here, you need some water. Take some water. Juniper, are you okay? We're gonna get you out of here.
I'm gonna make really intense eye contact with Lampwick and just be like, because you could probably at this point, if I'm making eye contact with Lampwick, I think you could probably see that I'm like fucking with this thing right now on top of me.
Make an insight check, or I'm sorry, make a detect motive check.
Yes.
Lampwick. Okay, yeah.
I played too many games.
Nope. 3 degrees of failure.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything that you wish to do to correct that, or since you are all together, one of the benefits of that is that you can use competency on each other to assist each other, especially in this sort of shared environment.
Would it be possible for me to also roll detect motives to see if I can see what Juniper's trying to do?
Are you paying attention to Juniper is the question.
Well, I
everything
had
that's going on.
I had 1 degree of failure for spot listen earlier. So, but I mean,
she was in conversation with me as I started to walk in that direction.
All right, I'll allow it. Go for it.
okay.
Detect motives.
Not that I have a lot with detect motives. She doesn't deal with people.
Get lucky.
But you know, you never know. You see?
Roll 20. What do you do?
1 degree of failure for it.
I'll give 1 competency point towards that.
That's very generous of you.
Works.
1 competency point will get you a wash, which is not
Then
a success.
I'll also put 1 in to make it a
Okay.
success, to know what it is that Juniper's trying to say here.
Very well. You do understand now what's going on as your eyes kind of follow up from hers up to the chain, and you see it rattling in the housing as this steel plate has been broken loose of its welding. You're not sure how Juniper has done this, because looking around, it doesn't seem that the Citadel has been sloppy with any of the construction here, but there has been some serious work done to shake that free, and there are 2 screws missing out of a 4-bolt set.
I'm gonna look down at High C, and not that I know their name yet. And I'm just gonna
You
go.
do, you just don't know how you know.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, they're nice. Okay. And I just go, High C, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Achira's going to, she sees what's going on. She's going to start yelling at Lampwick and attracting attention to herself.
I will respond to that. What are you?
Yeah.
Kusanagi, you're still below. Before this happens, I want to check in. You're still below with Inez, correct? And you don't know what's going on the 2nd level, but you are control right now, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if it seems like that's in hand, I'm basically going to tell Inez that she needs to get everybody out of here, and basically like distract them in some way, like tell them that they need morale, like they didn't get their show, like they were expecting Thunderdome, and you need to. This is a good time for you to be the leader that I know you are.
Well,
I need
yeah,
to go. I need to
thanks.
go get Rowan. I need to
Yeah,
brief Rowan and
you
let them
do.
know these people are here, because she's been the one who's been able to contain them in the past. She's going to know how to deal with this. I need to talk to her first.
Okay, Poindexter, take a break. I get it, but I have to be real clear with you here. When you tell Rowan what the hell's going on over here, I don't know that we're not going to give them Thunderdome.
Yeah, but I mean, not that I don't like Thunderdome. I mean, I see what it does for the people here. I know we need entertainment, but
I'll give you 5 minutes, okay? Go talk to Rowan and, do me a solid and tell the boss lady that I was involved here.
Oh, certainly.
Good. And she moves over and starts to kind of work outside. There's still guards. There's about 6 guards in this place still. Inez, the others are gone. Kusanagi, you leave then? You start leaving?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The rest of you then. What is your intention here?
My intention is to, on the count of 3, when Heisey opens that door, at the same time, we're just gonna make all the noise at the same time. I'm gonna bust out of this thing, roll over there, and I don't know if I can see and assess the situation from where I am, but kind of like the plan is try to get away or try to get the stuff from Heisey to pick Achira's lock also, but I don't know how much time there's going to be, kind of thing.
I think my door is open right now.
Oh, your door is open.
My door is open.
Yeah, your door is still open. There are guards with keys ready to lock it, but because of Kusanagi and Lampwick, they are holding on that action. However, they have been standing there the whole time.
Are their backs to me, or can they see me?
No, yeah, they're facing. They're not watching you because there's been this hot explosion of emotion here in front of Achira.
Okay.
But now their attention is starting to be drawn that way because of Lampwick and the water and all of that. They're watching everyone fairly closely. They were not paying attention to your cell. They're starting to now. And below, to remind you, you have 2 guards at the front door and 2 guards at the back door, and there are other prisoners within the various cells. All right. So with that intention, Juniper,
Is it bad plan? Okay, good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you wish to change your plan?
I don't know what the other plan is. I'm just sort of hoping everyone else gets what I'm doing and helps, but I don't know where that's going to lead us. So,
Well, in this instance, pulling yourself free and trying to escape the door is the beginning of a plan. So if you would like to continue with that action, I need you to make a lift pull. And I need you to roll 4 blue dice for your speed because it is very securely attached. Although it has been loosened, there are still 2 screws remaining.
Okay. Oh man, lift pull's so bad for me.
I'm not adding any difficulty dice. I don't think they should.
Right. No gear, huh? Don't have any gear.
You have nothing except for 2 screws, which you paid very handsomely for. You have 1 degree of success, which is enough.
And I grabbed the screws on my way out because they seem very important now.
Yes. So you pull. We'll come back to you. However, your speed is 8, which is also very good considering how many dice you rolled for that. Mm-hmm. All right. Lampwick, you had said your intention was what?
As soon as Achira gets my attention in any way, I am turning around. She has my attention. So I'm stopped and I'm looking towards her.
All right. So no action. You're just paying attention to Achira directly. I'm not going to make you make a roll for that. I do want you to roll 1 speed die, however. Make a spot listen and roll 1 speed die.
Got it.
Chiro, what is your intention here?
Chira has accurately seen what Juniper is about to try to do, and is going to do her best to get as much attention as possible off of her. Since the guards seem to be all about the drama and what she remembers with this place from before anyway, she's going to call Lampwick over being very assertive and loud and emotional. And she's going to repeat the question that she said before that he still hasn't answered.
You're being genuine here, so I don't think a persuade check is necessary. We don't need to have you make a roll for that. However, if you would like, you can attempt to intimidate.
Lampwick?
If
Or
you choose to.
Them.
It would be a blanket intimidation based on the idea that you're making a lot of emotional noise towards them. The choice is yours. I will say, however, and we haven't discussed this yet, Achira, last session you did pull something from the inside of your coat as they had not yet given you prison garb to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And that is currently in your hand. It is a small rounded blade. Is that correct?
It's a ragged edge for slashing that I have in my hand. I also have a concealed combat knife and 2 nails that I have in my mouth.
So you are not fully disarmed in this situation, but you have yet to alert anyone to the presence of these weapons on your person.
And I have no inclination to, unless I absolutely have to.
Understood.
Like if they drag me somewhere else, for
So
instance.
if you don't wish to make a social move here, we can just allow the two of you to go, but I do need you to make a spot listen and add a single blue die to that as well.
Okay.
So you do begin yelling, and what do you say?
You never answered me. Did you enjoy the show, Lampwick? Did you enjoy the show of the mess of my life?
Now, I got one success on my spot listen, and what is that? Is that revealing to me something about what Juniper is doing, or am I
both
picking
of
up
you
on
have
what Achira is doing?
Right, both of you have a single spot listen success, which gives you the ability to know that something is going down with Juniper right now. Achira, because of your previous success, you think you know exactly what's going to happen. Lampwick, you just know that something's happening and that this is probably a distraction, although Achira seems very genuine in her emotional anger.
Achira, why are you bringing this up right now? Look, I get it. You have a past. You have someone that you've hurt, and I feel for you. But right now isn't the time for us to have this out. We need to get you out of here.
Well,
and I'm going to go up to her and I'm going to open the door and I'm going to actually start to move into the cell where Achira is.
The door is open, but you are able to enter into it. So you step into the cell with Achira. The guards step forward.
Is Lampwick armed?
They've never unarmed me. So I have my spear and I have a pistol.
Lampwick is in fact armed.
Okay. Well, you won't answer the question that I asked before, so maybe that one would be a little bit easier for you.
Look, what is it that you want to know? You want to know...
Aria. I want to know about Aria Lampwick.
Well, I know she's dead. I know that much. Okay? Obviously, you know that too. I don't know why you're coming at me. I've been trying to find you. And now that I found you, I was honestly relieved and I was happy. And now you're in here and you're making a scene and look at these motherfuckers over here are smiling, laughing at us, going at it.
You think I care about them? And Achira starts going towards them and she's pointing.
Yeah, they're not smiling, but you are pointing at them. Juniper, do you count?
I start.
Okay. Continue your conversation. I'll let you know.
Oh, wait. Oh, should I not count?
You can count. You can count directly, but
okay. Well, I just meant I did.
The
roll
argument
the speed
is
dice,
still
so
occurring.
I didn't know if they wanted to roll or if we need to do anything else about that.
They've already enacted their spot listens,
Okay,
and we've
okay,
already
good.
moved through their initiative order, and now it's yours. But
I
your
missed it,
initiative
okay.
order was to start counting. So their conversation's still occurring while you're counting.
All right. 3, 2, I hold my breath. 1, and I flip up again and kick the where it's fastened to the ceiling to try to loosen myself and get myself out of that chain.
Very well. As you do so, the other two are still yelling at each other. You hear a groaning of metal that's very loud, and then it breaks. And 2 more of those screws fly through the cage below. You've got on your person the other 2 screws. However, the 2 that have just broken loose are completely lost to you. You now also are dragging a chain behind you as your arms are cuffed together. However, your shoulder is badly wounded and your head hurts. So while you are still wounded, you do have a weapon. And there's a click, and High C pushes at the door and runs towards a guard.
I run up with her to try to knock the shit out of that guard and make him pass out.
There are 2 gunshots. The first goes into High C's chest, and she flies backwards as a dark pool of blood fills the front of her prison garb. She drops to the ground. The first guard has his gun drawn and has fired 2 shots. The second shot just barely missed you, Juniper, and it ricochets off the metal of the cage next to you. You hear it, and you feel the buzz in your ear. Reduce my risk by 50. The other guard also has his gun drawn. Everyone is now in a location hazard.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Calm down. Everybody, what the fuck just happened?
You're saying this. The guards are shooting. We'll come back to you. Kusanagi, you're going to find Rowan. You're stepping through the courtyard. There's a crowd outside of the brig. It's like ravenous wolves in front of a chicken coop. You see it in their eyes. There's genuine bloodthirst. They want to be entertained. The Citadel does have its benefits, and you've seen it. But you've also seen what they're capable of. It's not perfect, but they do know how to survive. In the center of the courtyard, you see a large tank that's rumbling, its treads pulling back and forth. They've got it moving. It wasn't functional a while ago. You did help them out with a few of the basics. You're not so educated in the mechanics of such things, but you did understand enough of the electronics to help them get a few of these missing pieces substituted. As much as they've had to scrap and pull together from various different army reserves within the area, it's still a tank. You can't exactly go to the local corner shop and pick up parts these days. However, due to their ingenuity, their stubbornness, and some of your help, it's moving. And you wouldn't be surprised if in another week or 2, they got the gun working too. Grey Ridge really did a number on it. But the people of the Citadel are very stalwart. When they get their minds set on something, it usually gets done. Of course, there are repercussions. Both repercussions and rewards. That's how things operate here. You continue to walk across the courtyard, and you see Rowan. She's in a heated conversation with a number of the soldiers.
All right, I start patting other Citadel members on the back around me and trying to gather them and go, look, guys, you're missing it. The maiden voyage is about to start. We've been trying to get this going for ages.
Make a persuasion check for me, please. I'm going to add 2 black dice of difficulty to your roll. Blood is much more interesting than oil.
All right, let's see. Persuade.
You still got 1 degree of success. Do you have anything that changes that?
I think can I spend, the way I would interpret that is that, like, the one person I'm closest to is probably starting to react to that. But can I spend another competency point to raise my voice even further and, kind of give his shoulder a pinch and a shake, and, like, really get some momentum going of excitement, basically.
If you give me 2 competency points, I'll have you divert the entire crowd.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll spend 2 competence. And I'm basically, like, just kind of, like, trying to get them to all head towards the tank and kind of form a circle around it and, like, just start, like, chanting and hollering and just kind of focusing a lot of their energy on that and getting excited about the tank. And then I want to make a beeline for Rowan.
You managed to distract the members of the Citadel, the off-duty soldiers that are standing outside, some of the more civilian members of the population, but all of them now are circling around the tank and the individuals that are currently driving it and working it around. And it's doing donuts in the center, very slow donuts, but donuts in the center of the courtyard. There's a lot of celebration, hooting and hollering and cheering as you then make your way over to Rowan. Rowan, you are currently in a very deep conversation with 2 soldiers who have just informed you that an entire shipment of food has come in and it's contaminated.
Are the soldiers still around me, or have they gone?
Oh yeah, they're clearly worried about making this report to you, but the 2 that are in front of you are nervously detailing the situation.
All of it is contaminated, is what you guys are telling me right now.
Yes, ma'am. It's gone. It turns out somebody got their blood on it, and it's dead. I mean, the dead's blood is on it. All of it's bad. We can't risk it. It's like buckets of it. They covered the whole thing with gore. Nobody'd want to eat that shit anyway, ma'am.
Who was in charge of this?
That would be me, ma'am. I was supposed to do the pickup. It was all from Breadbasket. They were, ma'am, they were told that we would have the shipment ready. I was only about 2 hours behind, but that was because of what's happening on the roads and that whole to do with.
So how did the dead guy get in the food? Enlighten me, Private. What's your name?
It's Jones.
Jones.
Private Jones. Just
how'd that happen?
Yeah. So, the pickup wasn't. They just left the pickup. I wasn't there yet. So by the time I got there, the pickup was just there. The container was just there, and somebody had broken into it, and they'd done that. It wasn't just one dead guy. It was like the insides of 10 dead guys, and the fucking Romero guts were everywhere. Ma'am, I wanted to be there as designated. However,
hold on. Does Rowan know where this was coming from? Like which particular place they were picking it up from?
Yeah, this was from a series of farming communities known as Breadbasket. It's they're scattered small communities and farms that work together as like a small feudal region that sort of shares responsibilities, but they make offerings up to Citadel in order to purchase protection and security.
Let me ask you an honest question, Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
You think those fuckers did this on purpose?
No,
Or do
ma'am.
you think this was an accident?
No, ma'am. It was no accident, but I don't think it was breadbasket either. They don't got no reason to do that, ma'am. The food is like doesn't. They know what they're buying with it. Why would they taint the food that they're giving to us? They didn't think that we weren't going to notice it. It's just ruined. You could take it back to them. I'll take it back to them, ma'am.
Jones, I'm going to tell you something. You have 48 hours to figure out who it was that poisoned our food, or I'm going to hold you personally responsible. Does that sound like a fair deal?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll get right on it. And Jones salutes you, turns, and fucking beelines it away from you as quickly as possible. Kusanagi, you walk up at the tail end of this.
Rowan, we've got a situation.
I know. Did you hear about the food? That was. We're gonna fix that though.
We've got another situation. It's they're all here. All the people that you trapped in the mine. They're all here, and Lampwick is here with some weird folks from the Shepherds.
Yeah, I knew about the Shepherds and Lampwick. They were looking for a chair.
They're doing reconnaissance. They're trying to make it look like it's some sort of diplomatic thing, but you can tell by the way they're looking at stuff that they're scouting this place.
I can't say I didn't know. It hasn't been said out loud, but we've done this for a while. Get that little feeling on the inside. All right, so where are they keeping them?
In the Brig.
Oh, good.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I try talking to them, but there's still a lot of hard feelings towards us about what happened. I think, people are a resource. They're our most important resource. And no matter what your feelings are towards them, and their feelings are towards you, I think we can make this beneficial for everybody.
I enjoy your company, Kusanagi. I feel like you and I have become friends. Somewhat. I would say that. I don't know if you would say that. I would.
I like you. I'm shit scared of you, but I do like you.
It's because you're smart. You're one of the smartest motherfuckers we have here. Now, what I will tell you, people are a great resource. They are also a great liability. Despite my personal feelings, we still have someone who needs to be held accountable for the death of one of the medical people that we were supposed to be here, bring here to take care of people.
Yeah,
they're gone. Now look at my face, Kusanagi. And she will kind of grab him by the shirt and pull him close.
What if we could turn a liability into an asset?
Liabilities are always liabilities.
I mean, no disrespect, but I'm going to have to disagree with you there. Well, we were just talking about resources, and a resource is a resource. Especially a resource that you consider expendable.
Riggs has been trying to figure out a new way to rig up the C4. Just maybe.
Here's another thing too, right? Like, what if we can set this up, this whole situation with the Shepherds, in such a way that, like, no matter what happens, we benefit? Like, say we get them to go off on a mission, like to maybe find Blockbuster's hideout or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. If some of them were to perish in the attempt, I mean, those might be the martyrs that unite our two groups, or whatever. I mean, it's like we're not putting any of our own people at risk. And you know, I know I've been really pushy about wanting to get out there, and you know I've got the stuff I want to get accomplished, and you're not letting me do it. You tell me how valuable I am and try to puff up my ego about it and all that. Don't think I'm not flattered, but like, I know that I'm basically in a gilded cage here, right? What if we could send them as scouts? If you think it's not safe for me to go, then send them. And I'm telling you, the information that we can find there is big picture stuff. It could give us leverage against the shepherds. It could tell us more about what the shepherds are trying to accomplish. You best believe the shepherds are looking for that information too. It may give us the edge we need.
I believe everything you're saying, but what stops them from turning around and trying some more shit just right back on us? What's to say that they're gonna actually go do the thing that we tell them to go do? I mean, other than threatening them with guns, which we've already done before, we know that clearly does not work as well as we'd hope. Some people seem to have a death wish here.
Well, I mean, geez, I could think of so many things that would work. I mean, you were talking about C4 earlier. I mean, I think I saw it in a movie or something, but I'm thinking maybe bomb collar. We can remotely radio detonate if they, if they get out of line, or, I mean, there are so many different ways to do it. I mean, that's not the only way. I mean, a softer touch might be better, you know? I mean, there are probably things we can hold over them. There are probably things that they want. But what I'm saying is we should go into this seeing them not necessarily as, a problem, but a solution to a bigger problem. And what you certainly don't want to do is try to make an example out of any of them. I know that the minute they see you and that you see them, it's going to get pretty heated. And I mean, you show incredible discipline, but discipline isn't the same as self-control. I think in that situation, if you're thinking about the bigger picture, it might be easier for you to keep your cool.
Did you say a collar with a detonator on it? Because I have never been more proud of you, Kusanagi.
I mean, that was, that was kind of a blue sky idea there. And honestly, now that I said it, I kind of regret it, Nah,
that's great. I'm going to hook you up with Riggs. You two, I think, can come up with some wonderful things.
Honestly, I feel like Riggs and I aren't really of the same kind of design school when it comes to stuff, and he's really impatient. Inez I like working with. Inez is great.
The two of you are speaking, and a smell immediately strikes you. It's an acrid, hot smell of fire, of oil burning, just as the biodiesel camp, a small corner tent that houses many barrels of handmade biodiesel for all of the vehicles that the Citadel uses, bursts into an enormous fireball that reaches into the sky. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Outbreak Undead, Rag and Bone on Hunters Entertainment at twitch.tv. My name is Knoxweiler Burf, and tonight we are exploring our absolute foobar situation within the Citadel as our survivors continue to face the mounting challenges that have been growing around them. While there is now fire within the Citadel, choices have been made. There is a much more explosive situation occurring within the Brig. Achira, Juniper, and Lampwick. Two guards have drawn their weapons. They are armed with pistols. They have upon their person large, bladed, blunt, machete-like weapons that are sheathed at their side. Shots have been fired. one of the other survivors, a wild child known as High C, having opened the locked doorway to the cell that she and Juniper were behind, has been shot in the chest and lies gurgling and dying on the ground. Juniper, as you escape the cage, another shot is fired and just barely misses you. Lampwick, you attempted to talk the situation down. If that is your intention here, then I'm going to need you to make a persuade check with 3 black dice of difficulty.
Okay.
Juniper, if your intention is still to run, I need you to make a dodge with 2 blue dice of speed and no difficulty dice added to it.
Would I have to run first to get to the other guard?
Your dodge is going to cover your movement towards the other guard. They are firing at you.
So,
Achira, you have been attempting to draw attention to you. Do you have an intention that has changed now?
Where's the guards' focus? Are they both trying to look at and shoot Juniper right now?
They are indeed focusing on the prisoners that are escaping.
How close are they to where we are?
You are in one cage, and they are perhaps 15 feet away from you. However, you have a cage between you and them. The door is open, but they are still behind the bars of the other areas there. So you'll have to step outside to have a clear range of attack to them.
Since they're looking at other prisoners right now and are in a heightened state, I want to stealth because I want to get behind them, since they would more than likely be facing Juniper. Like, I might be picturing this differently in my head, but I would like to get behind them, and I would like to stealth to do it.
Very well. Please make a stealth roll for me. You're going to have no dice of difficulty, given that they are focused on the jailbreak in front of them. However, I do need to have you roll 2 blue die for your speed. Lampwick, let's resolve your 5 degrees of failure on your persuade. It makes perfect sense. If you would like for that to lie, I could say very easily that they are not going to listen to a word that you have to say ever again.
These 2 guards, right?
These 2 guards. They most likely have already been informed of who you are. They're probably already set against you, given your history. Knowing that and what's happening now, they will probably never trust anything that you say or even wish to interact with you directly in any way that doesn't involve aggressive force.
Great. Yeah, I'll let these 2 fall off my charm list.
Okay. Well, they are thoroughly off of it. Moving over to Juniper. Juniper, you have 2 degrees of success on your dodge, which is very good.
Yay.
It actually leaves you with a degree of difference between the gunshot that is following from one of these guards and your action. So would you like to convert that into an attack success? Or
hell yeah.
Would you like to use it to allow yourself to move quickly away from the situation?
Attack, move, attack, move.
Okay. If you make an attack in your next round, you will be able to add 1 degree of success to it immediately.
Awesome.
However, if you have 3 degrees of failure, that will just lessen your failure.
Okay.
So, Achira, your stealth roll, you have 2 degrees of failure. And you are operating last with a speed of an 11. Both guards have fired. Well, one guard is fired. The other guard is grabbing a radio. and is about to shout into it. That is specifically his action. So what would you like to do as you
Well,
stealth forward?
it'd be best if we don't have company. So, I'm grabbing at that radio.
So you think that you are unseen in this, but as soon as you escape from the cage, this guard wheels on you and has a gun pointed in your face. They have the radio still up to their mouth. Lampwick, you're in the middle of this. There's a gun pointed at Juniper, who is now rushing a guard, and a gun pointed at Achira. There is very little space here. The entire stretch of this metal cage hallway is only a matter of perhaps 10 or 15 feet. The length of it is quite long, easily 200 feet in length, but you are literally in a cage right now. What would you like to do?
Oh, shit. So, Achira, this guy's gun is up, pointed at Achira. I see Juniper going after this guy. Oh, okay. I don't think I have a choice.
Is it possible for me to use competency points then? So, because
Absolutely.
I just see how this is an untenable situation right now.
Well, the guard's already got the gun pointed to you. The point that I could take competency points from you has passed. So
Okay.
if you wish to alter their future situation with your competency, you may. You may also support Lampwick or Juniper in their actions.
Okay.
Do I have, I'm going to pull out my pistol. I'm going to shoot this guy.
Very well. Your intention is to draw your gun and fire.
Mm-hmm.
You may roll your pistol skill. I'm going to offer you absolutely no dice of difficulty, as this guard is not paying attention to you. Are you firing at the guard coming for the Juniper's headed towards, or Achira?
The one that has his gun on Achira, that has the radio in his hand.
All right. So I need you to make that roll. I do want you to roll 2 blue speed die.
Okay.
Juniper, what is your intention as you attack?
I'm just going to take my hands and do this motion to whip the chain at this guy's head to try to knock him out. Do kind of a one-hit situation.
Very well. So I'm not going to add any difficult. Well, I'm going to give you 1 black die of difficulty, but I'm going to have you roll a blunt.
Well, listen, it's a PG-13 show. Just kidding, it's not. You mean bludgeoning?
It's definitely not. You can roll a blunt weapon skill check.
Is it? Oh, I see. I have trained in blunt. Okay. Is there any way I can add any kind of gear? Is it like a really heavy chain?
It is a very heavy chain. I will allow you to use a 2 times modifier on it.
Awesome.
That
I'll use
reminds
the
me.
bludgeoning thing. Okay, thank you.
I need to look at my pistol.
So, Achira, your intention in this moment then, now that you have failed to move quietly towards this guard, what would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm in front of a guard. He has a radio to his he's basically like this.
Yes. Radio up, gun out.
I'm still going to be going for this guard. I'm not gonna be stealthing. I'm gonna try to go for a slash for this. It's kind of gonna be like how it was with Inez, where it's getting him to drop something.
You're attacking specifically the hand holding the gun or the radio?
That is an excellent question. The gun.
Very well. Make a slash. Since you are attempting to get him to specifically drop this, I'm going to give you 1 black die of difficulty. I would ask for you to roll 2 blue dice for speed. let's start. Also, Lampwick, did you roll a depletion die for me for your pistol?
Sure.
Let me know if you get a 6.
I'm just going to roll the pistol again, but I'd like to keep that.
Yes, you can keep that.
Success.
Well, until you roll better, and then you're going to argue to have that changed, but that's all right. We've made our deal.
Yes, we have.
Okay, so
It is a 6.
yeah, you have you are going to fire the shot, but you hear a very clear mechanical click
No
as
way.
as you are fresh out of ammo. So this will be the only shot that you're able to do without reloading. I guess you were not as good about upkeeping your pistol as you should have been. However, I will say that you did succeed with 2 degrees of success, and the individual is going to be shot. But you're operating on an 11. And Juniper, your attack, I don't see your speed die.
I will quickly do. Was it 1 speed die or 2?
You have to roll 2 blue speed die
Okay, sorry
for
about
this
that.
attack.
I'll just roll something random.
Yes. Yeah, so you actually, the first thing that happens is you swing. You have 3 degrees of success. Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Yeah, speed is
you
7 and
you
5.
5 degrees of failure on your attack. Now, you have 1 degree of success, which brings it down to 4.
Mhm.
What would you like to do to create a better situation for yourself?
I'll go ahead and spend 5 of my competency points. That leaves me with 2 left to make that 1 success.
Very well. You spend a lot of competency to give yourself a success here. However, as he's been watching you very closely, he's going to attempt to dodge out of the way. Never mind, he is unable to.
Yay.
So, with the degrees of difficulty, so you have 1 success or 2 successes?
1.
Very well. That doesn't allow you to knock him unconscious, but it does allow you to hit him, and it is going to cause a certain amount of damage as this chain strikes across him. He is struck across the face, and a mouthful of teeth fly out, clatter across the cage as blood begins pouring out of his mouth. There's a large gash across the side of his face, and there's immediately swelling and bruising that you see as he drops down from the strike with your chain. In the next moment, there is the sound of a gunshot as this other guard is hit in center mass, given your roll, and drops back against the cage with a large clatter as you see his shoulder, a large dark stain start to appear underneath his camo. Achira, your slash is 1 degree of failure, and you were the last to act. What would you like to do about that?
Well, I just saw him get shot in front of me. I'm gonna go ahead and
it's fair to say that you probably started moving forward. The gunshot happened, he fell back, and that's why you missed.
I still want to get his gun away from him. So I'll go ahead and spend 2 competency to... God, it feels so bad to slash him when the dude just got shot. I'm gonna do it anyway. He needs to drop his gun.
So you spend 2 competency to make it 1 success.
Yes.
Very well. Although shot, wounded horribly, and against the cage, he's going
3
to...
competency. 3 competency, I meant to say.
I'll allow it. With 3 competency, he has no chance. You slash across his hand, and his... You did say pistol, correct?
Yeah.
Pistol drops to the cage floor in front of you. He screams out, "You bitch!"
If I'm right there in his face, can I grab the radio?
Not this round, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Outside, Kusanagi and Rowan. The blaze creeps up. It is starting to get darker out. Dusk is beginning to fall as the afternoon grows longer and longer. Fire reaches up in a pillar as barrel after barrel of very precious biodiesel explodes outward. Rowan, that, while not your only storehouse, is certainly one of the larger ones, and it is more valuable than gold these days. You have a refinement factory that has been brought online. The Citadel works really hard to provide enough fuel for all of the varied vehicles that have been repaired. It is the lifeblood of what you do here. The Citadel is one of the few communities that still has functioning vehicles. 25 years after everything has gone to shit, in a world where there are no parts being manufactured in factories, where vehicles are no longer being processed, this is a salvage game. All of them have been converted. They run on biodiesel. It's been hard to make this happen. But it is one of the reasons that your organization has thrived the way that they have. Someone just smacked you all across the face.
Shit, what the fuck was that? Kusanagi, did you...
You know that's no accident. Do we have eyes on
No.
the shepherd guys? We know where Lampwick is, but do we know where his guards are?
I particularly, no, because that's not my business. I have guys that look out for that for me. They should know where he is. And now we gotta figure out what... Do you realize how much fuel we just fucking lost?
I know. I'm the one who fixes the generators it goes into.
Your radio crackles to life, Rowan.
What the fuck is going on out there? I'm coming out there and it's gonna be a 3-alarm fire for real. Somebody better have some goddamn answers.
I was thinking the same. I will meet you out here. Would you like me to stay here? Would you want me to get closer in and figure out what the fuck is going on?
Boss lady, you do what you gotta do. I'm gonna yell at my troops, you yell at yours. I want heads on stakes.
All right, you got it. And as she puts it down, she'd be... Yeah. All right, every one of you motherfuckers around here right now, I need you on figuring out what the fuck just happened there.
Wait, him. You know the rules here. There are no civilians at the Citadel, so that makes me your superior officer, and I'm commandeering your flak vest.
Give him a
Okay.
flak vest.
How many survival points are you going to give me for that flak vest?
Now, would I know what it's worth in a sort of sense in this situation? I also know this person is probably scared of Rowan, and Rowan is with me.
So I'll allow you to make an intimidation check right now, and if you get more than 3 degrees of success on it, I'll give it to you for free. And if not, for every degree of success you don't get, I'm going to charge you 25 survival points.
Okay. I only have 45, I think, which I got from my competence last time that I didn't use. So let's hope it's
well.
enough. Yes, roll well. All right.
That's 3 degrees of failure. Do you have any competency points?
I do. I have 2 competence points.
You are in a location hazard.
Oh, I'm in a location hazard. Okay, that gives me, I think that, let me see if that gives me another 1 or another 2. I have to look and see what I have that at. Let's see, it's acumen. Oh, it's plus 2 competency points for if location hazard. An exploding biodiesel in the camp, I think you've said qualifies. So, all right, I'm gonna spend the 2 from that, and that brings me down to 1 failure. So how many survival points would it cost me with 1 failure?
With only 1 failure, you would have to spend 50 survival points.
Okay. I will spend 1 more competency point to get it down to 25.
To a wash, and then it'll be 25 survival points.
Okay. I'll do that. So I deduct my points there. Well, hurry it up.
They give you the vest, and yeah. Here you go. They throw it over.
I Velcro up the sides. Make
You
sure
have a flat
snug
vest
fit
now. Yeah, your chest is protected. All right, Rowan, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go over and move a little closer towards what just happened to see if I see any suspicious people kind of moving around, like anyone that I don't recognize as being part of the Citadel being around there.
Understood. Make me a spot listen. If you have any specific gear on you that may alter that, you can use it.
I'm gonna spend.
You do have four degrees of failure in this moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 4 competency points to make it a wash.
All right. Well, a wash doesn't get you anything. You probably it's even 1 degree of failure isn't going to be as bad as that. So it's up to you. If you wish to spend 4, you may. That'll break it even, and you don't notice anything. But there's nothing bad that happens because of that.
You know what? I'll spend 5 then and make it a success. I was going back and forth. I think I'm just gonna make it 1 success.
With 1 degree of success, you do see a figure running away from the fire in the blaze. It's a silhouette in the smoke going the other direction, not towards the camp, but back along the fence line.
I'd like to try and shoot them.
All right. So how are you going to shoot them? Are you using a rifle, a pistol? Tell me what you're doing.
Yeah, Rowan's usually got her big guns with her at all times because she knows things could pop off at any second. So she's gonna pull the big rifle from her back and try and kind of aim there, and hopefully they're not running in a zigzag motion.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. They are covered by smoke and a lot of debris and fire, so you're going to have 2 dice of difficulty on your rifle. And also make sure that you roll a depletion die. Okay.
With the difficulty, my bad.
Yeah, you can roll that again and just add the difficulty and the depletion die. Also put 2 blue speed die onto it. I should give you all this information at once. I apologize. Kusanagi, what is your intention while Rowan is firing at this individual that's in the distance?
If I see that she's firing at somebody, I probably try to look and see who she's firing at. And I'd probably say, is he wearing a white mask?
Make a spot listen check and add 2 blue speed die to that.
Which one is the depletion die again? If
It's the white one. It's the one white die.
And just 1 die?
Yep.
You said I was adding 2 speed dice?
Yes. Very well. This is the correct roll for you, Rowan, that has the difficulty die attached to it? Is that correct, or is it the one before?
It's this most recent one has the difficulty.
Okay. Yeah, so it is 4 degrees of failure on the shot. You are going to miss. I'm not going to impose any specific impediment to you, other than you are very focused on this individual and firing into the smoke and not able to hit them. Your spot listen is 1 degree of failure. Do you wish to ride that out, Kusanagi?
I think I'm going to ride it out, yeah. I mean, the smoke's getting in my eyes and I'm kind of squinting, having trouble seeing what Rowan is shooting at.
Yeah, you don't even see a person. You just see smoke, and Rowan's trying to fire as individuals are moving back and forth. Rowan, the Citadel does have what is referred to as the fire brigade. It is a modified military water truck known as a Buffalo, and it has a very large container of gray water in the back of it, and it is barreling down as alarms are going off around all of you, and they're more mechanical school bells that are ringing, and it is a strange sound, but there are individuals that are beginning to move forward. The crowd that was celebrating the tank immediately stops, and they go into emergency triage. They begin moving towards the fire and working as best they can. Some of them start gathering tools so that they can throw dirt onto the fire. Others are beginning to work with the Buffalo to try to contain it. With an oil fire like that, water is not the right choice. So they are creating a barrier to try to contain the one area by wetting down the ground. They are working hard. What do the two of you wish to do while this is occurring?
Okay, we're going to have to make a choice whether we want to try to pursue this guy or if we want to try to get to the brig.
We're going to have to get to the brig, but I got to let somebody know where he's headed.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, he's headed towards... in which direction is he headed, Knox? Like south, east, west?
Yeah, it's heading to the east. There are 4 entrances, and it's the eastern entrance that it seems that shadow was moving towards.
I got eyes on somebody moving towards the eastern entrance. Possibly might be the person who did this. If any of you are over there, head him off and bust a cap in his face.
Roger that, boss. We're on it.
All right. Now, more problems.
Yeah. New problems, at
We'll
least.
come back to the two of you. Meanwhile, inside the brig, I need the intentions for the 3 of you.
In what state is the guy that I shot in the chest?
Well, Achira has just slashed his hand. He's dropped his weapon in front of her and has the radio up to his mouth, but has yet to call out. The other individual has been hit by Juniper and is buckled over, bleeding intensely from the face. Neither of these 2 guards are doing very well. However, the commotion has drawn the attention of the other 4.
I want to take any weapon that guard might have that I just hit with a chain. Does he have a gun or a knife?
He has a gun in his hand.
I would like to take the gun. And yeah, I take the first thing is take the gun.
It's going to be a resisted roll, but I would have you make a lift pull.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not add any dice of difficulty to your roll, but I will add 3 to his because he's just been struck in the face and is bleeding profusely. So that will be a contested roll. I would like for you to roll 2 blue die for your speed and 1 depletion die. I'll explain that once you roll it. So, with that, Achira, what is your intention?
Okay. Well, the guy, is he still trying to, does it look like he's still going to try to use the radio?
It does. He's hurt, but I think he understands the strength of the Citadel is numbers, not combat ability, although they are well trained. He knows what his lifeline is, and it's not his gun.
I'm slashing at the hand that has the radio.
Make a slash roll. I'm going to have you add 2 blue dice of speed, and I will not impose any difficulty dice. You can make this roll straight. Lampwick, what is your intention?
I'm going for the gun that's on the ground.
Okay, so the gun that is at Achira's feet, you're ducking down. You already have your gun in your hand. You're going to try to grab it. Now, let me ask you this, Lampwick.
Mm-hmm.
Are you making this move without defending yourself, or are you bending over and making yourself vulnerable to either of these guards?
Well, unless I'm misunderstanding the situation, to me it looks like the dude that I shot and has been slashed is not really a threat right now. He's dropped his weapon and he's falling back and he's bleeding. But the other guy looks like he could be, and I'm actually going to pick up the gun to shoot him.
I understand that. And even though he's been wounded, he has not yet been restrained. So he does have a gun in his hand, although Juniper, unbeknownst to you, is making a move for it. So my question to you is, if you're going to reach down and grab this gun, are you going to do so in a defensive way, or are you just diving into it?
I'm going to dive into it. I want to do this fast. And I think that in this situation, I think Lampwick would look at this guy and think he's out of commission, and look at this other guy and think that he's busy. with the person that just attacked him. So I think time is of the essence. I think I would go for it as fast as possible.
Make a balance check for me, and you have 2 black dice of difficulty.
Okay.
And then add 2 blue die for your speed.
Okay.
As you lunge forward, trying to grab this gun.
Damn, I rolled the wrong thing. Oh well.
If you need to, you can re-roll it, but I would ask you to do so judiciously.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with Juniper. Juniper, you're at an 11 speed. Shira is at a 9 speed, and Lampwick is also at a 9 speed. The first person to actually act is the guard that you have hit, Juniper. And seeing Lampwick lunge forward is certainly going to cause him to try and stop him from getting the gun. So he is firing at Lampwick. He does have a number of difficulty dice imposed due to his state, thanks to the hit with the chain that he's received. And he pulls his gun forward and fires at Lampwick. And the shot rings out, and your ears ring. And Lampwick, you feel the heat as it passes right over your head as you lunge forward. He has missed you.
I hate this so much.
So lucky.
Next in the initiative order here is going to be Lampwick. You have 4 degrees of failure on your balance as you leap forward, perhaps because a gunshot has just wrought itself directly over your head. Do you wish to keep this 4 degrees of failure, or do you want to do something about it?
Is this considered a catastrophic failure?
It will be, yes.
I don't want it to be a catastrophic failure, but I'm not going to spend everything I have to make this a success.
I will tell you what happens if it remains a catastrophic failure. And yes, other competency points could be spent on this, but if you do not fix it, you're going to kick the gun and it is going to slide down the hallway away from you.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Is it a possibility, since I'm right after this, my speed is 9?
Yes.
And I have 3 degrees of success, that there is something that can happen with that?
I will change your slash into a balance, and you will have grabbed the gun instead. However, you will no longer be slashing.
I'll do this. I'll use all of my competency points to make that into 1 success.
To be clear, you're going to spend the last of your competency points while you're still inside of the brig.
I don't want to. Okay, so catastrophic failure, you said, is what kicks it across.
Yes.
But what about, what if I spend 2 competency points to reduce the degree of failure?
You will just not grab the gun and have wasted your turn fumbling to try to grab it.
I'm okay with that. Let's do that.
All right.
I'll burn
So,
2.
You fumble, you grab the gun and drop it again, and it hits the ground. What did you roll on your depletion, Juniper?
I rolled a 4.
Very well. You also have rolled 2 failures on your lift pull. Do you wish to do something about that?
Feel like it's okay to fail just a tiny bit, because
It's a very heated situation. Not everything will be a success.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it. I only have 2 left, so I'm gonna just chill. Got probably more turns coming up.
So you grab at the gun, and the guard elbows you. So I'd like for you to make a dodge, please.
Okay.
So that we can decide exactly how many degrees of success this guard has in striking you. That is 2 degrees of failure. Do you wish to keep those?
I mean, oh goodness, crap. All right, I'll go ahead and use because one failure and a wash are the same thing, right? So I'll use just 1.
I've been very
One.
generous in the past. However, in this situation, given the intensity, I feel that it's only fair that I offer you The removal of a failure here will cost 50 risk, and I will remove both of them and allow you to spend 1 to turn it into a success.
Last time I did this, I passed out and ended up in a dungeon. I will spend 1 competency point, and I will have it just be 1 degree of failure.
All right. You do get hit. And you can, because the guard is enfeebled due to the strike across the face, it is not very hard. You put 2 on your damage track. So if that, with the other damage that you are still holding on to, if that pushes you over to a wound, let me know.
Okay. I don't know. I have 2 wounds now already. And then I have a 5 damage threshold, so that means that those 5 are already gone. So that just give me 2 more wounds then in my health points? It would? Okay.
Does it put you over to a wound?
It doesn't go past my 5?
It doesn't go past your 5, then it's just sitting there, and if you take more damage, it could push you over to your threshold.
I see. Okay.
So just hold on to it for now. If you take more damage in this fight, it'll become a problem. All right. So, and yes, I understand the guard used the elbow in the same turn that it shot. However, this specifically was its reaction into the attack that has just occurred. We are now in the next round order here.
I haven't done mine yet.
You haven't yet.
Mine. I should have gone before Juniper.
I apologize. That guard, however, is not the one that you're facing. You have decided to grab the gun, is my understanding, that you've let go of your slash and grabbed the gun?
No, because Lampwick decided to use his competency to go after the gun.
To not do that. Okay.
Right.
That's my fault, but I did understand that as that you were switching your action, which is why I didn't come back to you. So I apologize. We'll keep the slash. We'll keep the success for the slash, and it occurs before the incident over here with Juniper getting elbowed in the face. So what I'd like to do is have you go ahead, and you have 3 degrees of success on the slash. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So give me a moment. The guard drops the radio as you gash deeply across his knuckles, and a blur of red gouts out from his fingers. A pinky drops in front of you, and his scream echoes through this large space.
Since that's a lot of success, is it possible for me to get a hold of this radio that he is dropping, or be able to do, or maybe have something that can roll over into something else?
Well, what I've rolled it over to was damage, given that you had done such a large amount of success beyond his immense failures. So if you would like to convert the damage out of damage, you can either do a position so that you're able to move yourself for the next round so that you can grab the radio. But grabbing the radio will be a separate action.
Okay. Well, in that case, just simply dropping it is enough then. Lampwick is trying for the gun. Juniper's going for the other guard. And this one has already been this one's been shot in the chest already.
Neither of them look very good at all.
Are there any other weapons on this guard?
Yes, there is the bladed machete type sword that I mentioned before on each of these guards, strapped to their hip.
Would it be possible for me to then, because I have him drop the radio, for me to go for this machete?
You can, yes.
I will be doing that.
Okay, so you start moving, the radio's out of play here, you're now going for the other weapon. All right.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's going to bring you to your next intention round. However, at this point, both Kusanagi and Rowan, you've made your way across the courtyard, and are approaching the brig. I need you both to make spot listen checks, please.
Four successes.
That's very good. I think that with 4 successes, that's going to be an exceptional success. I only need 2 of them for you to see what I was intending. So would you like to bank 2 of them as successes for your next action, or would you prefer to figure out a reward in this moment?
I'll bank 2 of them.
Okay, so you'll have 2 degrees of success that can carry over in your very next action, regardless of what it is. And you are watching very closely. You have funneled your vision. You are on military alert. You perhaps were a little lax before. Maybe you would let your guard down, but not now. Rowan, you are eyes and ears. And you're watching. The 2 guards that came in with Lampwick are still standing on the outside of the brig. They're the only other 2. They couldn't have possibly gotten back here and been the one at the fire. You've got someone else in your camp that's causing problems.
That's not good. I think we have more company than we expected.
Again, we can flip this to our benefit. I mean, if we need to make sure Lampwick's safe, then those 2 guards can help us.
I mean, can we though? They're already blowing our shit up.
As soon as you say that, you hear gunshots inside of the brig.
Ah, fuck. See, this is what I was talking about.
This isn't my fault. I've just been trying to help.
No good deed goes unpunished, I suppose. Well, is there any other guards around that are like my people that I see that aren't like busy taking care of things?
You know that there are guards inside that are never to leave their posts. There are guards that are on the wall that are patrolling, and some of them are keeping kind of a sharp eye to this general area, but everybody else is dealing with the fire. You have troops, you have soldiers, you have support staff, but the Citadel is not flush with so many people that a fire like that doesn't draw most of your eyes and ears and hands.
I mean, regardless, I think we should get these masked guys to go in with us. We see them, we got to keep eyes on them.
No, I agree. Let's get them to come in with us. And just one more thing before we go. This is Rowan. I'm headed into the brig. If I'm not out of here in 20 minutes, burn this fucking building to the ground.
Hey, all right. Hoorah.
All right. Now let's go figure out what the hell's going on in there.
Okay. And I'll unholster my gun and get ready to follow.
Okay. So is it your intention to speak to these masked individuals before you enter into the brig?
Yeah. Knowing what I do know of Rowan, is this something where I think I'm going to have a better chance of persuading them than she is? Or do I think I should leave it to her?
Depends on what tact you're taking. Open palm or closed fist.
Okay, then I'll consult with Rowan then and just be like, okay, well, I mean, my approach would be to tell these guys that their charge, the person they're supposed to be guarding, is in danger. Do you think that's the best approach, or are these folks only going to react to something else? I mean, we need something quick.
I mean, your guess is as good as mine, man. To be clear, the masked people are the people that came with Lampwick, correct? They're the
Yeah, the shepherds.
You haven't heard them say a word. They have been stoic and silent. They have stood over Lampwick. They just don't do anything except watch.
Yeah,
so it's up to you.
Your
You
guess
got no
is
read.
All right. I mean, I'll take a shot at it. If you can just, make that face that you make, the one that's just like, like your head is raised and you're looking down, like, and your eyes are real squinty, and people are like, "Oh, what's she gonna do?"
Now I just do this. It works the same.
Yeah, that's effective.
And yeah, I'll stand by and look menacing while Kusanagi tries to talk to him.
Great. I'm not going to have you roll any speed die or anything, but before you enter, I need you to make an intimidation check for me, Rowan. No black dice are included here. In fact, I'm going to give you a single degree of success to start with. And Kusanagi, I need you to make a persuade. No dice of difficulty, except I want to hear what you say. And I want to be very clear. If you fail this, there will be consequences.
Always consequences.
More so sometimes than others. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I know you two at least, still have your competency, a fair amount of it. Your intimidation is a bit of a failure. 5 degrees, in fact, Rowan. You have 1 degree of success already. That brings it down to 4. What else would you like to do?
Can I use the 2 rollover successes from the last one?
Absolutely. That's the next thing that you did. So I did give you those. There are now 2 degrees of failure.
All right. I'll use 2 more competency points to. Does that make?
I will counter with, if you give me 50 risk, I will allow you to bring that to a wash, and you can spend your competency for a success.
I have more competency points than that. I actually had one I was banking, so I will.
The choice is yours.
I will spend 3 competency points to make it to 1 success.
You have managed to dig yourself out of a very deep hole. Congratulations. And you are intimidating, though not overtly so. Obviously, they are watching you. You've made your presence known. It's not detracting from what Kusanagi is trying to do. You haven't offended them. Most likely, it's not that you wouldn't have come across as frightening. You would have upset them. So, it seems to work. It's not taken as an offense. It's just a show of strength. You step forward. You have 1 degree of success. Kusanagi, you have 4 degrees of success. What do you say?
I kind of make a dramatic pause and lower my my pistol, and I make eye contact with both of them. And I say, "You were given a sacred charge from him, the one who watches all of us. And you are desperately in chance of failing here right now. And he will know your failure, and you will be punished. I know that you're not here to help these people. And I'm not one of these people either. I have a deeper connection to all of this. One that perhaps you can feel when you look in my eyes. So I'm telling you right now that we need to go in there and we need to make sure that Lampwick is safe. And you need to follow our lead on this if we're all going to get out of this alive to execute his will."
There is very little that you can read from these 2 individuals. The white blank masks that they wear have only the smallest of slits where the eyes are. You do not see them, but you know that they're watching you. There is a long moment, and then a nod from both of them. They step forward and stand next to you, saying nothing. From either side, they draw swords, small, short, but razor sharp. The metal of these blades glistens in the dying light of the night as the sun finally sets. In the other hand, they have small daggers that are underslung. They stand there.
I level my weapon like I'm basically going to cover them, and I kind of nod to them that they should push the doors open to the brig.
And as you make the nod, they open the doors, and inside you hear the screams of the prisoners as the small remaining amount of light pours into the space. There are flickering lights as the generators begin to die, and you hear shouting and gunshots. We'll come back to the two of you. Lampwick, Juniper, Achira. You continue forward in your engagement, but there's a crackle of the radio, and you hear Rowan's voice. She announces where she's headed, and you hear what we all heard. She's entering the brig. If she doesn't return, it's to be burnt to the ground. 20 minutes. And the Citadel doesn't seem like the type of organization that takes anything lightly. A military operation knows exactly what 20 minutes means. What do you do?
What condition are the two people that we've been engaging in?
They are very bad in their state of being. However, they are still conscious and they're still feebly attempting to fight back.
Are any of them on the ground yet?
Yes.
I think
the one that Achira is fighting is on the ground. He was shot in the chest.
Right.
The other has been struck very heavily across the face with a horrible wound, and Juniper is still there fighting him.
So the gun is still now at my feet.
Yes.
I'd like to pick it up, and I'd like to shoot the guy that's still up.
Very well. Make a balance check. There will be no degree or dice of difficulty added to it, as now you're going to grab the gun and shoot him. In fact, I won't have you make the balance check as you've already done that. You failed it before. I'll allow you to make the shoot check, but I'm going to add 3 dice of black dice of difficulty as you are grabbing it off the floor and then pointing it to him. Does that sound fair?
Sure.
It's going to be difficult, but it will allow you to shoot this
really
round.
Hard.
Do you have any competency remaining?
I do. Just thinking if I would... What would be... So, question. So that I understand as Lampworth the situation and my own, abilities. More difficult to pick up the gun and shoot him, or take the spear that's like kind of back here and stab him?
It would be much more difficult to grab the spear, unsheath it, and then fight him in this tight area.
Right.
Given the width of this hallway, despite its length, a spear is not a good weapon for this space necessarily. Now, if you are going to move back and reposition yourself, it could be useful for leverage and for being able to fight from a distance, but the choice is yours. The gun will be easier, you believe.
I'll do the gun.
Would there be an option available for Achira, because we haven't really done initiative or with it, for Achira to, with the machete knife, to throw that at the dude?
That can be your intention. And when we get to your intention, we'll determine that, and we'll also have all the speed dice determine what order things happen. So you certainly can do that, Achira, and I suggest that you do something similar. But if you're going to all make attacks, tell me who you're going to attack, and if somebody gets to it, then we alter your intention. It just changes, and maybe I impose a difficulty based on the change, but it depends on what you want to do. Juniper, did you have a question?
Oh, I was gonna say, if everyone's gonna be attacking this person who's still kind of up, and I'm sort of just been struck by them, I'm gonna just try to roll away and like just try to get out. But before I do that, I want to know in the room, can I tell if there's another door exit out of here besides the door where Kusanagi and Rowan are coming in?
Well, you don't know which door Kusanagi and Rowan are coming in.
Or I mean, I guess which
There
doors
are
do I
two
see?
doors, yeah. So this is an open area, as I said before. There are two doors. The first thing that you notice is that there are two guards on either side of this long stretch of warehouse that are coming towards you, moving down the central aisle on the first floor. Make a spot listen check, and I will be able to tell you if there is a door open that I could give you more information on.
Okay, I do that.
And so if you succeed here,
Mhm.
I will allow you to make a dodge to make your way out. Now, you failed to spot listen. That doesn't necessarily mean that anything bad is going to happen, except that with 4 degrees of failure, you just have no idea that Rowan and Kusanagi are already here.
Okay.
So that's the major failure, is that you don't know what door and you don't know that they're here.
I try to hit the guy closest to me with my chain again.
So
That's
you're
my
gonna fight.
intention.
Okay,
Yeah.
so use your blunt and roll to strike. There are no dice of difficulty here. And you're going to be able to strike fairly simply, as this individual has already sustained a great deal of damage. Even with 1 degree of success.
I should have did a speed die though, right?
You do have to do 2 speed die, just so that
Okay,
I know.
sorry.
And then we'll resolve the situation. But okay, so Achira, your intention here. We have Juniper's attention. The action hasn't happened yet. So we have a speed die. We have the roll already made. Is your intention to attack someone? To throw the machete?
Yeah, but I would hold that action if it looked like the person was already taken down. Like, I would hold the action of throwing the machete. I would just like...
Absolutely. And you're able to do that, but I need you to make the roll for the attack along with the speed die, so we see when you go. And so you already make the roll, and we intend, we get your intention. We then line the intentions up, and then I follow through the initiative order that's created by the speed die. So your intention can change. You're not locked in on this action necessarily, but there might be a negative that is acquired because of the switch. So you have 2 degrees of success and a speed of 1, which means you're going first no matter what. So we'll come back to you. You're probably going to be first in the order. Lampwick.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what you're doing.
I'm definitely going for the gun. So I think that even if Achira goes at lightning speed, it wouldn't stop me from getting to the, you know what I mean? Like that's like right there, getting the gun and trying to pick it up at least. But I guess depending on how fast I go, we'll see where that takes us.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I guess there's other people that are coming.
Yes,
as well.
there are.
So
you
a pistol has
Lampwick,
more range than a machete.
You, Lampwick, are making your shot. So go ahead and roll your pistol and roll 2 dice for your speed and roll a single white die for your depletion.
Got it. And if I go later than them and I see that I don't have to pull the trigger, then I wouldn't pull the trigger. But I am going for the gun. Oh, and a depletion die. Okay, so you gave me 3 difficulty dice, 2 speed die, and 1 depletion die, correct?
You have 2 speed die and 1 depletion die.
And 3 difficulty die?
3 difficulty die because you're grabbing and firing in the same round. You're not really aiming, you're just grabbing it and firing and hoping for the best.
Okay.
The other option was to have you grab the gun and prepare for your next action.
Yeah.
So you have 5 degrees of failure again. That is catastrophic with grabbing the gun and firing it. Is there anything that you wish to do to alter this failure?
The depletion is 6. I don't know if that jams the gun because it did that to my last one.
But it's not the same pistol. So what that means is that you fire this gun, but it is empty as well. Apparently, this only has 1 bullet in the chamber.
I'm gonna use my competency points then because I'm not gonna. That can't happen.
You won't get another shot. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. I'm going to burn 2 or 3 competency points, whatever it is that I need to make it so it's not a catastrophic failure, so I don't hit anybody else. I'd rather just miss him like he missed me.
So to prevent you from firing upon anybody else, you would have to burn 2, and it will be a failure, meaning that you're going to waste the single bullet that you have.
Yeah, that's it. It's done.
So you fire, however, the guard is moving too much, and you at the last minute barely miss Juniper.
Shit.
And yeah, so it
Well,
luckily.
If this is the same guard that I'm going at, I did with a speed of 1.
You're right. So the failure is still going to occur this way. The bullet is still going to be expended no matter what. But go ahead and let's start at the beginning. So speed 1, Achira, your throw occurs. Your machete hits this individual. The individual, hold on. Okay, is not going to make it out of there alive. The machete is in the side of their shoulder because they're hunched over, and you've struck them, and the machete is stabbed into their chest, and it's bypassed whatever chest armor they had on, and it's sticking out of the side of their clavicle, and you hear them scream out as a gout of blood sprays from it, and they stumble back.
Is this going to take both of my successes?
It was definitely taking both of your successes, but it is killing this guard who falls to the ground. And so he drops to the ground in front of Juniper and is dead. And you see Juniper standing there, but then that gunshot just at the same moment flies over his head. Your gun is empty, Lampwick, but it is as it is. Now, Juniper, you were attacking. So since that opponent is down, do you wish to transfer that success to the other guard?
Is he far away? Is he close enough to get without?
Close enough to hit with the chain. As long
Sure.
with your 1 degree of success, it will strike.
I bop him.
Okay. And with your bop, he is unconscious. He is not dead, but he is bleeding out of the head pretty profusely and is lying on the ground, still bleeding from the chest too. So you don't know how long he has either. So both of those guards have been dealt with.
Did you hear on the radio? We don't have long. Rowan's on her way, and we need to get out of here.
And on that, I'm taking the gun that's in my hand, and I'm going to the girl that had been shot in the chest. I put this gun that belongs to the guard in her hand.
And I grab a weapon from the other guard. He said there was a knife and a gun left.
Well, it's not a knife. It's more like a handmade short sword. It's like a big machete-type bladed weapon that the Citadel uses. Flat blade. It's very rectangular. The front and the side are very, very sharp, and it has a very long handle. The handle, it can be used as a blunt instrument to knock somebody across the back of the head with.
I take this sword.
Okay, so you now have this large machete blade, and
Still have the chain, but okay.
yeah, and as you're doing so, there are a number of other individuals in the cells further back, and you hear somebody shout out to you, "The keys! Leave us with the keys at least!"
Yeah, Achira's gonna grab keys and toss that at people.
All right, so that is your intention.
We need as much other people trying to escape as possible right now.
So you're going to step forward, grab the keys from the guard, throw them forward so that the others can start to let themselves out, or are you going to unlock the doors yourself?
Throw it to them to let themselves out.
Just to be clear.
Gotta
Okay,
get out.
so that's Achira's thing. What are you doing on your action, Juniper?
Oh, I was grabbing the sword.
Grabbing the sword, arming yourself. What about you, Lampwick?
I'm gonna ask, are you leaving right now? Are you both out of here right now?
Do you have other plans, Lampwick?
Yeah, they locked me up.
Dinner you have to get to?
I can't leave right now. You guys, the shepherds will find me. They know I'm here, and they will hunt me down and kill me. I can't be blamed for this.
Is that
and I
what
cannot
happened with
leave.
Arya?
That's exactly what happened with Arya.
The shepherds, not the Citadel?
It wasn't the Citadel. It was the shepherds.
You saw it happen?
It happened right in front of me, yes. Look, we have a lot to talk about. Arya was sliding back, but I saved her. Sanderson tried to kill her, and we got out of that, and then we fell into the shepherd's hands, and they weren't gonna let her live. They weren't gonna let her live. But I can't. I want nothing more than to leave with you right now, but I cannot. They want you, Achira. They can't get you out of their head. And look, you guys, this is gonna sound crazy, but they're also not, I don't know if they're completely bad. They're rotten just like everybody else is, but they have something there. They know something about the zombies, the Romeros. They know something about them that we don't, and I think they know how to control them. They know.
Achira stares at Lampwick and goes, "They killed Arya."
I take the book that I've been taking all of my notes in, and I give it to Achira. Read this, and you will learn everything that I've learned, because I've been taking notes. But there's no time. We can't have this conversation right now, but I want to have this conversation.
Speaking of no time, Kusanagi, Rowan, you hear voices. They're echoing through the space. Rowan, do you enact the plan that you have put forth?
I do. Indeed.
Kusanagi? As Rowan turns and walks back through the Brig doors, do you follow?
I am covering everybody. I am going to be the last to enter.
Very well. Do you understand what I'm asking? Because Rowan is closing the doors and locking them from the outside.
Oh, Rowan is staying outside.
Rowan, would you like to describe your action?
I kind of hear the sound of them talking, and I look at Kusanagi and go, well, you wanted to talk to them? This is how we do it. And I shut the doors with them inside and lock them. And if there's
I'm not going in there if Rowan's not going in there.
Yeah, I'm sliding them in the doors for extra hold in the handles if there's anything over there that I can, just to reinforce it in case they even pick the lock.
The two masked individuals did enter, however.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, works for me.
The door is now locked.
Well, now we talk to them.
We talked to who?
Oh, well, the people you didn't want me to kill, of course. See, so now we've got to figure out this plan on how to get them to go, what was it? Find Blockbuster's hideout?
Yeah. Above game, am I misunderstanding? I thought we sent the two shepherds in there and then closed them in.
I guess my understanding was that all of you were entering in with the two individuals from the shepherd camp, and that they were coming with you into the space to try to deal with the others in there. Is that what you understood, Rowan?
Because you described Rowan locking the doors from the outside.
I have obfuscated that intentionally because Rowan and I are communicating outside of game here. So allow me to be very clear. That was the intention, and Rowan, once she heard the voices, which we have established, she knew what was going on and they were out of their cells, and rather than face them, she has turned around and stepped back outside, altering the plan. So my question to Kusanagi was, do you continue with the plan and move forward as the two shepherds are, or do you step back with Rowan? The choice is yours.
Yeah, I'm not going to be in there alone with the shepherds and the gunfire. That's not my steez.
Very well. So then everything stands as it has been described. The two double doors have been closed and they have been locked. And the Brig now stands alone.
I mean, I'm hoping that, Lampwick with his silver tongue can convince those two to help all of them.
Let me guess, there's only one way in and one way out of here?
There are 2 ways in and 2 ways out. However, there are 4 guards still alive with you.
Where are the other 4 guards?
There were 2 at each door. They are now encroaching closer to your location, the stairwell that leads up to the 2nd level.
Okay, so there were 2 guards that were up on the level with us, and there's a total of 4 guards with 2 exits at the bottom level. We also have 2 shepherds that are
unknown to you.
Well,
but,
yeah,
right.
But I mean, I'm just trying to get the layout of it.
Absolutely.
So there's 2 shepherds that are behind 2 guards because they just entered a bottom entrance, and then there's a bunch of prisoners that are on the 2nd level and a bunch that are on the 1st level.
Yes.
Right now.
And if your intentions stand, you're about to rearm each other. You've been yelling at each other, but Achira, you said last you were going to throw the keys to the other prisoners. Do you wish to continue with that intention?
Yeah, we need more people that need to escape in this situation.
Okay, you toss the keys, and a figure that you can see off in the distance grabs them. He is a very tan-skinned individual with black hair and a tattoo across his face. He grabs the keys, pulls them in, and starts unlocking his cage, and then looks to you and then looks back to the others and starts opening other cages. 3 individuals are out of their cages in total, and as they begin to gather, they start walking towards you. Below, as you can see through the floor, you see the guards moving closer, guns drawn. They're moving carefully and slowly, but they're sweeping the area. They know where the gunshots came from, and you hear very quietly radio chatter from the walkie in your hand.
This is Torres in the Brig. We've got prisoners loose. Requesting permission to take care of the solution that we all know is coming. Lethal?
This is Rowan. Permission granted. If anyone seems to be loose from their cage, you feel free to throw their ass right back on in there, and if they don't go, you end them.
Understood. Copy that, ma'am. Just wanted to make sure you'd marked 2 of them.
Achira does the radio.
You say something over the radio?
Yeah.
It's in your hand.
Rowan, this is Achira. I don't think you want to lose any more people, and I don't like being locked in a cage. So how about we talk?
Miss Achira, I do enjoy our conversations. You are a tough bitch, and I give you credit for that. Look, we do need to talk. Y'all have apparently already done something to rough up some of my guards. I'm not too happy about that. Not too happy about my doctor being dead, and really unhappy about my face. But I'm willing to listen to what you have to say, because at this point I need you to know, Achira, that the perimeter of the building you are in is securely locked down and ready to be set on fire, and I believe 15 minutes from now, if anything happens to me. So your best bet for any of you to make it out of this at this point is to make some deals. Otherwise, I will burn this entire building to the ground and not think twice about it. You are also locked in there with what will probably be a bunch of very dead people very soon. So if you manage to escape the fire, you're gonna have to deal with the Romeros. None of this is looking good for you right now.
Rowan, from one tough bitch to another, I've been in possession of this radio for longer than you would have liked for me to be in position with it. And I already know that you don't have the people to burn this down in 15 minutes because those people are already trying to save the rest of your base from burning down. So don't bullshit a bullshitter, honey. Not right now. I am sorry about your face. That's not a thing that has to do with this. That's previous actions and consequences. Would have loved for you not to have tried to bury us alive underground. I think a lot of us have done a lot of things to each other at this point, which is why I'm trying to open the lines of communication. So I'm real glad to hear that you're also open to this. And there's more than one way out of here. I prefer for us both to figure out a way that works for both of us. But before that happens, before any of this happens, I have one question that I think you, a tough bitch in the know, would know the answer to. There was a head that was delivered, it looks like, in the forest next to that giant Romero that was trying to stalk me. Do you know the person that brought that head?
There was some kind of fucked up looking Romero that had it in their hand when it was brought to me. It had a radio in it, tucked up inside of her neck. It was one of the most foul things I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen a lot of foul shit, but it wasn't us. I didn't recognize the person that the Romero used to be either. Maybe. But couldn't give you a name.
Well, we do know that the shepherds like whisper into the Romero, so I guess that, and Achiro looks over at Lampwick. I guess that checks out.
You know, Achiro, I really did come back there to save you guys when this thing happened to my face. They were looking for you for a while. Ones that can talk. A lot of people here didn't believe them, but they keep saying your name. There's something they want from you. I don't know what it is, but watch your ass.
You think we'd have enough to worry about than that, too. Well, shit. Rowan? Honey? This used to be my old home. I think we have more in common than either of us think that we do. So how about we chat?
Meet me by the door. Come alone.
Have your guards stand down and go on the other side of the brig. I don't like guns pointed at me. I don't think either of us do.
I won't tell him to move, but I'll tell him to lower the weapons to let you out.
Fair enough.
And I will motion to the guards and let them know the plan to come let Achiro out.
Well, you're on the other side of the door, correct? On the outside of the door. It is locked. The guards that are approaching them are on the inside. So you can radio and ask them to stand down if you like.
I will indeed.
So you radio forward, and the rest of you watch as the guards immediately, without question, lower their weapons and stand back. However, as the two facing the north side of this long warehouse begin stepping forward, two white-masked individuals with unearthly speed and silence slit their throats. And that is where we're going to end our session tonight.